Hey everyone. Well, it's been years since I recorded a fishing video, but I had to today. A spot called Poto Point in Northland, North Island of New Zealand. I've just thrown out a nice, what they call here a piper, which is like a half beak or a ballyhoo, depending on where you are in the world, on a big piece of foam to float it up off the bottom. Hopefully we can get a kahawai or a kingfish, also known as a yellowtail, and probably a snapper, and I've heard there's some gurnard around. So let's see how it goes. I've got my bait out. I'm gonna start throwing a little spoon, see if I can catch a little fresh live bait, and we'll chuck that out. Okay, so I'm trying out a little clip-on lens for my phone today, which is acting as my action camera. The quality won't be the best, but it's really wide angle since my GoPro's broke. We'll try this, see how it goes. I've got a little inline spinner here. I have caught fish on this before, mullet actually, surprisingly enough. This should work for probably a little kahawai that's swimming around here. The current's pushing, so it's pulling my line quite strongly to the left. I've got a grapnel sinker on, but it doesn't seem to have hooked up yet. There you go, that looks alright. Water's pretty clear. There's been a lot of rain all over here, and all the rivers in the area drain into this harbour, but since the tide's pushing, the water is clean. The open ocean's just around the corner there. Anyway, let's see if we can get any bites. I'm guessing those gannets were diving into mullet. If they were diving into a school of piper, you would see the long shapes coming out. Piper are long and skinny. They have a beak that looks like a marlin's bill, but instead of being on the top jaw, it's on the bottom jaw. Oh, got a bite, got a fish. First fish. It's little. Ah, it came off. That was very little. Okay, I've taken that thing off because it looks like it went blurry. So I've just seen a big school of bait fish. Reckon that's a bit too small. What else have I got? I've got balloons. And I've got a bunch of those, and then big ones. I'll try this one. Looks like little shrimp or little bait fish, little edible bits that the fish I want to use for bait will grab onto, and sometimes their predators will even grab onto it. Which makes things very interesting. On the odd occasion, when you catch a bonito or a kahawai or something on it. Very interesting indeed. Okay, so I'll just slowly jig it back. Oh, got a bite, got a fish. Got one. What is it? What is it? It is the tiniest kahawai you've ever seen. Isn't that cute? Isn't that just adorable? That's too cute to use for bait. Spotty little guy. Very pretty. We'll just put him back. There you go. So I probably hooked his bigger brother earlier on that lure. He would have been a better size for bait. We'll just carry on like this then. I'll walk out pretty far. Got the waders on. It's currently mid-thigh. Good old cast. Okay, I'm on the bottom. Oh, I've got something already. Very cool. It's small. If I just keep bringing it in slowly, it'll keep tension and maybe more will jump on. Oh, I think I may have just had another customer. Saw fish scatter anyway, maybe it's just my line cutting through that chased them. Here it comes, looks like it's just one. And it is, oh, it's two. Little baby Kahawai. Okay. More of those guys. There's no legal size limit on them. I'll release them for now. Since the lures haven't been catching anything, there's probably nothing bigger eating these at the moment other than gannets. And nothing's taking my bait on the big rod yet. Here we come. Ah, two. One just fell off. And there's the other one. I think he's going to go to spice up my bait. Sorry, little guy. Okay, let's go check the big rod, which isn't a very big rod. It's a 10'6" Daiwa Exceller, one of the older ones. I had the guides changed to Fuji K series a while ago. Stratic 5000 FJ model. And 30 pound Suffix 832 8 carrier braid, I think. Wow, these sinkers really grip hard. I didn't think they would, but there you go, it's out. The reel's getting a bit old. I just serviced it the other day. Sinker's hooked up again. It's coming. It's very heavy though. There you go. Ah, there you go. Okay, we're out. Crikey. Wow. Could have easily broken off on that, but I just kept it slow and steady and pulled it out of the sand. Let's see how my bait's doing. Ah, it's all gone. Okay, that's kind of a good sign. Well, it's a sign that there's more than nothing out there. Okay, so what bait shall we make? So this is my trace. Running sinker. 2.5 feet of 30-pound fluorocarbon. And a couple 4 or 5 circle hooks and a big piece of foam and a skirt. So this will float it up off the bottom. Get some nice action in the current. And in here we have that little Kahawai I just caught. A piper with its nose chopped off. A couple Australian banana prawns, they're really good. And an octopus leg from previous trip. I caught a nice big octopus. Let's do the octopus leg as a base, so we'll measure half of it. Half the octopus leg. Slice it halfway down the middle. Might cut it a little bit more. It's over there. It's good to have a sharp bait knife. Shall I do it inside out? Why not? The bait cotton. Just wrapping it up. So there it's gripping the foam, so that's good, so it won't slip forwards or backwards. This bait should be pecker resistant for a long time. Hopefully it doesn't attract a big short-tailed stingray, because I won't be very impressed with that. I'm going to probably lose all my line if that happens, or break off. And that's not good for me or the stingray. You want to make sure that hook is really proud. What that means is it needs to stick out as much as possible, because that little gap is where the fish is going to get hooked. So yeah, that's fine. Just cinch it down tight. Actually, I'll do that. Can't see what I'm doing because I don't have the right lens on, which is annoying. Sorry, I'll work all these kinks out for the next video. This is more of a test run anyway. Feed the seagulls. There you go, that's better. Right, then I'm going to take a prawn and I'll just use half of it. So what I like to do with these prawns is cut it in half. So I'll have the head, which has got all the good smelly guts in and a little bit of meat, and then the tail with a lot of meat. So we'll just take the head section. I like keeping the shell on. Just lasts longer with little fish biting. And I just want to cut it halfway through. I don't want to do what I've just done and destroy it all. And this we're just going to set on the back here, facing down, so that the juice hopefully stays in for a bit longer and the meat stays in for a bit longer, but that head will have tons of, see that gross orange juice there? Fish love it. I don't think there's a fish in the sea, except a really big shark, I suppose, that won't eat a bit of prawn. These prawns are really good. Those I got from the supermarket. They're not bait prawns, they're eating prawns. They're really good. There you go. Cool. This will just trim up neat. So our hook is nice and exposed. There you go. Prawn and octopus. And I'm just going to keep it like that for now. I might add on to it a bit later, but this I know can lay there for a few hours and it'll be fine. Wipe your hands on your pants. Off you go. Now this is a bigger bait than I'd usually throw with this setup. I've ordered myself a proper surf casting rig. See it there in the water, it's actually floating. So it'll float up off the bottom, be highly visible, bobbing along in the current. I think that's a good bait. I think that's a very good bait. I'm going to walk out far, give it a good old wallop out deep. Okay, I'm up to my crotch. There it goes. Good depth, I'm happy with the distance. Now, the fun part. Looks like I could be getting a bite on the big rod. Just pull down, give a few bumps, give a bit of slack. Yep, there's something there. Tap, tap, tap. Something's having a good eat. Yeah, I'm into a fish. Here we go. Am I? No, I'm not. Shit. Maybe? Yep, there's something there. There's a snag out there. Damn it, snagged it. Came out last time. There you go. That's out. Oh, now I can feel the fish. Oh yeah, now I can feel the fish. Hope you guys can see what's going on here. Oh, what is that? Is that an eel? It's long and it's spinning. Yeah, it's an eel. Wow, it's not something I expected. This is a freshwater. What is this? Wow. Very cool. Have a look at that. This is like a conger. Or is it a freshwater eel? Nah, it's not a freshwater eel. I think it's a conger eel. It'll be a first for me. That's bloody cool. Ate octopus and prawn combo. Well, there you go. My first ever, I believe it's a conger eel. Not as slippery as a freshwater eel, but slippery enough. Gonna release him now. There you go, boy or girl, or whatever you are. Oh, wrong way. I haven't measured him, but he is at least a meter long. There you go. How cool is that? Not something I expected, that's for sure. Very happy to have caught that. Holy shit. Oh, look at this. Ah! Yeah, I got him. Oh, got him. Oh, man. Oh, just when I thought it was over. Hope you saw that. I really hope you saw that. There you go. One fat Kaipara Harbour Kahawai. Oh no! The lure fell out. Just want to show you guys. That's what they look like. Nice kahawai. If you're from South Africa, it's very similar to a shad, except they don't have sharp biting teeth. In other countries, the shad is a bluefish or a tailor in Australia. But here in New Zealand, they don't have those, but they've got kahawai, which full of similar niche. Really, really strong fighters, very predatory. They take baits too. And that's a nice little catch. Not the biggest, but a very, very nice fight on the light tackle. Got another kahawai on here, throwing soft plastic. Yeah, thanks. Well, that's a better one. Yeah, it took a bit of line. Well, there you go, guys. Taking on a freshwater soft plastic, a little jerk minnow with a little blade on it, a bass style hook. That was a good fight. That was really fun. So that's what did the damage. So much fun catching these. No, that is the biggest one of the day, probably 2.5, 3 kilos. Yeah, 2.5 kilo, 5 pound, something like that. Let's get another one. So strong. And that is just a slow bouncing on the bottom. Oops. Ah, there's another one. Yes, they're very cool. There's something in between like a European sea bass and a shad or a tailor or a bluefish, depending on where you're from. Very predatory, catching them on bass plastics, bass rod. This isn't a very big one, but like I said, they're really strong. There you go. Second very dodgy fillet. Something in the stomach, let's see. It's half digested. Smooth blue skin. I'd say it's probably a piper. What else is in there? There's another one. Here it comes. Oh no, that's the little Kahawai. Yep, so they're eating junior. And a bit of grass. You see the spots there, the yellow spots of the baby Kahawai. Okay guys, here's one of those yellow-eyed mullets I told you about earlier. That's a mullet with a yellow eye. They don't get very big, maybe 40 centimeters. But yep, there's the yellow eye. And just a regular old mullet. Something's had to go at the top of his tail. I don't know what. There's not many things with sharp teeth in here. Anyway, we'll get him back. There you go. Looks like we've got a double up. Ooh, a bigger mullet and a Kahawai. Oh, little Kahawai fell off. There he is. Sorry, seagull. And that mullet is just the right size for a bait, so he's not going back, he's going in the bait box. Well everybody, that's it for today. The dropping tide is just too strong. It's just ripping my sinker out at a rate of knots parallel to the beach. So it's time to call it a day. I've got a dinner appointment tonight, and it's not because of any fish I caught today. Those Kahawai are apparently good eating, but I don't like them. Apparently they're good smoked, but yeah, maybe if you have to smoke it, it's not that good in the first place. Thanks for watching. and I'll do my best to keep up the fishing content. See you next time. So I was driving along and then that happened. Drop into first gear and spin out of there. I think I'll stay off this for now. Just get home in one piece. Staying in first gear. Dodgy, man, dodgy. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.